So what is up, guys? Kelly in. Today on this particular tutorial we are going to be doing a simple TIE fighter, and the reason why I say simple is because later on in the week, possibly a couple of days after this one, or it might even be out at the time you watch this, but anyway, straight after this video for another tutorial, it is going to be more of an advanced tutorial, and this one's kind of basic, kind of easy comparison to that one. That one is actually a scaled model to that. It's quite large, it's quite a lot of detailing, it's quite beautiful, so keep your ears to the ground to listen or to watch, sorry, that particular video. So I'm going to crack on with the thumbnail. If you haven't seen it, it's on screen now. That's what we're going to be building. It's quite flush, quite simple, it's kind of cool. You know, it's kind of your average one. I wouldn't say it was the best one, but it's your average one there. So obviously let's get cracking on. So as you can tell here, I have got a starting block of 1. Now I'm using iron for this build. The other one we use a different block. You'll find out when the video comes up, but I'm going to be using iron for the smaller ones just because it looks a little bit more smoother, a little bit more crisp. So you want a line of 5, and then you want a line of 5 going the other way. So add this one onto that, so that's 3, 4, 5, and you want a continuation all the way around till it links to make a square. You're probably thinking this is not how you make a sphere. Don't worry too much, then, because what we're going to do is make the bottom of it by cutting off the corners of each of this pattern. So again, you should have something that looks like this: 3 along, 3 along, 3 along, 3 along each side here, but the corners cut out for a 5 by 5. That's pretty much the first layer, so let's crack on with the next one. So after you've done that one, all we need to do is come into the middle one here, come up 1, and that one needs to add an extra 2 along to the sides like so. So again, the same thing on this side as well, all the way along until they connect, which is the bottom of the base, all the way along. Same thing on this side as well, out 1, all the way along, 5, and then the middle one, out 1, all the way along, 5 to connect as well. So you can tell this probably is a little bit of a weird pattern, but what we're going to do is just fill those corners in just with the same level as everything else here with a block like so. Should have a little thing like that. Excuse me. So the next layer, here we go. So let's go on to the next layer. So these little bit of corners here, we can actually just come up to these, just the little peaks here, and just raise one up on each side. So again, in one on the actual build, and then just straight up to the other one. Obviously remember to deduct that one as well to get that sphere shape, otherwise it's going to look a little bit daunting. We're actually going to come in one now to the build and come all the way around. Don't connect them as well, please make sure you don't connect them like this. Make sure they look all the way flush all the way around. Again, if you're sort of struggling at any point in the video, you can always pause at any particular time. That is the beauty of YouTube video as well. A little pointers which I'm doing right now. I'm going way too fast, and I should actually slow down, otherwise you'll find a few blocks that aren't in place and correct together. So that's that layer there, as you can tell. Have a little look. So we've got 5 along here in total. 1, then 5, 1, then 5, 1, then 5, 1, then 5. There we go. So let's crack on with the next one. Okay, so here we go. Let's go on to the next section here. Now you can either work in corners, which I do. I find a particular corner that I like working in, and then I like to just sort of, you know, get on with it pretty much. So what we're going to do here is we're actually going to come out of the 1 here, and we're just going to add an extra to make a 2. And then on the side here, we're just going to come out 3. So we're obviously going to come out 3 away from that. 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2 out. And you want to continue this all the way around, so we do that together. So on this side here, this one will be coming inwards to the build now. So this one will be coming out this way. 1, 2. Obviously, we need that 3. Then obviously coming back into the build here. 1, 2. Again, same thing on here. 1, 2. Out for the 3. 1, 2. 1. Oh. 1, 2. Out again. 3. Then 1, 2, like that to connect. So as you can tell, almost in the middle of this, quite nice and easy so far. Obviously, if you want to have a look at it now, just pause it as we go along. I'll show you each screenshot as we go through. So there we go, pause it. And then after that, I'll show you the next layer. Okay, so let's do the next layer. So again, what we're going to be doing is adding an additional 3 on this. It's the same thing again, we're just going to add an extra 1 on either side to make a 5 block. So again, the same on this one. So add the extra 3 on the standard 3, and then 1 on each side. So again, like that. 3 like there, as you can tell, them 3 there in the middle, and then 1 extra is added onto the edges. Same thing on this side as well, 3 and then 1 across. 1 across, which then it should have a little pattern like this. Now what we're going to do is come down invisible stairs at 2, so we're going to just really concentrate now. Go 1, 2 to connect, same thing on this side as well. Find a corner that you particularly like, 1, 2 to connect, invisible stairs, and as well 1, to connect. Now what you can see here is I'm actually building up or following the end blocks here just to connect them like so. And as you can tell, it's really kind of building up. So we look down the bottom, it's building up to that sphere, come fairly similar up to the middle now. And yeah, there we go. So I'll let you have a little look at that layer. There we go. And yeah, let's crack on with the next layer. Okay, so the next layer is fairly simple. All we're going to be doing now is actually building up exactly the same layer once again. So again, just run all the way a second block all the way through. Just carry on a continuation of the blocks that we previously placed. Only one block extra though. So just carry on all the way around. Like so. And there we go, that's the next layer. Done, pretty much just adding an extra block onto there. Now we're actually probably in the halfway mark. So yeah, that looks pretty much just an extra block added onto that. And let's crack on with the next layer. Okay, so you're probably thinking there's probably going to be an extra added bit onto this. Actually isn't, it's just the third layer with exactly the same thing again. Just going to come along here and just build it all the way through. So again, once you've done, you basically want 3 rings of this. So 3 rings of line of 5, 2 invisible stair set, and then a ring of 5 again. So pretty much exactly like that. As you can tell, we are building up the sides here now. And we're getting fairly close now. All we need to do is probably just flip it now and build the top half. Okay, so now we're actually coming into the build and we're actually making something happen here. So what we're going to do is find the 3 of the 5. So again, we're going to do the bottom half here and pretty much flip it upside down. So we're going to do the top half of the 3 here. Then after that, we're going to come into, so 1, 2. And then we're going to come again, 1, 2. And then that 3 on top of there, like so. So 1, 2, 3. And again, you guessed it, exactly the same thing. We're going to come into, along 2. And then another 3 like so. So you always want to be missing one on the edges there, obviously, because it's a 5. So you could just do your 3s really simple and easy. And after doing the 3s, we're going to come in away from this one. As you can tell, it's going to climb up now, which would make sense. And then we're going to obviously be careful here. We're going to have 2 to connect. Same thing inside. As you can tell, I'm working from left to right constantly through this build. I'm not sort of working here and then moving around. I'm moving around every side like this. I'm working this way. So 3, 2, 2 along. 3, 2 down, 2 along. Switch around, 2, 2 along. See what I mean? I'm moving exactly, pretty fluent throughout this. As you can tell, I'm angling myself up with this one now. So again, 2 in, and then 2 along. Pretty simple. Just keep following your sort of instinct and just follow a corner as I said prior to this. So that's pretty much that pattern there. We'll have a little look at that one as well. So as you can tell, 3, 2 along, 2 in, 3, 2 along, 2 in, 3, 2 along, 2 in, blah blah, etc, etc. So you're leaving the block on the edges there, each of those ones which would have been the 5. So let's crack on with the next layer. Okay, so we've got a couple of layers left to go, and that's pretty much it for that sphere. So after we've done that, what we're going to be doing is actually going to be running a line of 5 continuous all the way through here. Now I think it's all the way along apart from missing 1. So as you can tell, 3, 5, as you can tell, there's that beautiful pattern in the middle there. And then what we're going to do after that is pretty much exactly the same. So we're going to run all the way along again, missing 1. So we're going to connect the 2s all the way past each other till you have 1 on either side. Same thing on this side as well. Leave 1 all the way along, and then leave 1. After you've done that, I can put invisible stair set into the actual build now. Remember, we're coming in, not out of the build. We've done the edges of the outer build to give us that detail. And now we're just coming into the build now to bring it up. As you can tell, it looks pretty darn cool so far. So that's that layer there. As you can tell, 5 there. So missing a block on the edges there. Coming in 5, and then invisible stair set to connect. Okay, so we're on the penultimate level now. All we need to do now is come in 1 block, like so, in from the actual build. And then we're just going to make this a sort of equal pattern all the way through, all the way again, another 5. Same thing on this side as well, coming into the build, an equal pattern of 5, so you're following this outer edge. As you can tell, they connect rather nice, like so, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, same thing on this side as well. You can pretty much just mimic it all the way around, and it should look like something like that. Now what we're going to do is what we did on the bottom, is add an extra 1 into the corners now. As you saw underneath to the prior one, we deducted the corners, because now we're flipping it the other way around to make a sphere. So you want to come into the build now. So as you can tell there, 5, connect along, 5, 5, 5, 5, and then in each of the corners that like make a little square is an extra block in there. So let's do the final layer. So as you can tell, the final layer is pretty easy. All we need to do now is come up an extra layer and fill the rest of this in. So just mimic it all the way around to the extra hollow bit. You can fill it in as you go, but for me I'm just going to do the shell first because of reasons like that. Come all the way in, and now I can actually just fill all of the section in like so. And that's pretty much the sphere of just a normal TIE fighter. So after you've done that, let's crack on with the wings. So let's start off with the wings. The easiest way to do this is probably come around to one side first and literally just find a little hole that you're willing to dig into. Now for me, I'm going to come down one from the actual main build, and I'm going to make sort of a little pattern that looks somewhat like this. I'm going to follow this pattern all the way along. Now I'm approximately going to come about 4 blocks out in total, so 3, add an extra 3 onto these extra ones here to make 4. Like so, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing on the other side. If you're a little bit lost as well on what to do the other side, you can actually hollow through this all the way through, but if you've got good eyes and you know what you're doing, you can pretty much just mimic exactly the same thing round the other side. Let's do that on this side, and there we go. There are the attachments to the wings. I'm obviously going to add a lot of detailing onto this build, so don't worry too much just yet about that. So what we can do now is we can actually just build up and add an extra 1 onto each of these layers here. So we're going to do that, so we're just going to add 1 onto each of these layers. Again, takes a little bit of concentration, but you should have something that looks like that. And we're going to do exactly the same thing on this side as well. Add an extra 1 on each of these. Remember, all sides need to be covered with an extra 1, otherwise it will look a little bit wonky. So you want a pattern that looks like that on the edges. So again, 3, 3, 3, 3, and then 1's poking out, obviously to connect to the wings. So you should have something that looks like this. After that, it's entirely optional what you want to do. I'm going to use this block in particular as a main block to work with. So I'm going to run this block all the way along, and I need a couple of blocks to come along, just as an indication to where the wing actually goes. So I'm going to come probably about 3 blocks out, just for the time being. Exactly the same thing on the other side as well. Come along and just stick an extra 3 blocks out. Doesn't really matter, I can even put 4 on this one. Doesn't matter too much just yet. So what we're going to do now is actually start building the wings. Now the easiest way to do this is actually work from the back side first, and then adding all the detail slightly in further. You don't have to, you can actually just start off by making the wings as they are now, which is kind of complicated, but so I'm going to kind of break it down and show you guys how to do it. So yeah, I'm going to show you how to do it now. So in hindsight, you actually want these 12 long in total, so we're actually going to work from this particular angle here. So we're going to count 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and exactly the same on the back. Remember, the back needs to be same as the front, obviously, because these are wings in general. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that is that wing there. And obviously we need to add this wing here. Actually probably go 11, so just minus a block on each of the edges here. So take one off there, and let's take one off there. Just thought as well, because the 12th one is actually going to be a little bit of detailing, so that's probably why. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Same thing on this side as well. So we've got 4 here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, like so. After that, what we can do is come to the very edges now. Doesn't particularly matter. And let's work from this side, because obviously it's on the other side as well. We're going to come up to, and then we're just going to keep coming up to, and just keep bridging this all the way along. Just with 2s, don't worry too much. And you probably want to come up an extra, probably about 6 with these in total. 6 sets of 2, including the bottom one here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now the top one here, we're actually just going to come up invisible stair set 2, like so. And this is actually going to be the top of the wing. So we come all the way to this side as well, and do exactly the same thing on this side as well. So we're going to come up to, so that's 2 sets of 2, 2 sets of 3, 4, 5, 6, and obviously as you can tell, just going to come 1, 2, up, and then just run all the way along till it connects like so. Pretty simple and easy. So we're going to need to do that on the bottom half here as well. So obviously we're going to have to come down 6 stairs as well. So again, 1, 2, then we're going to add, so that's 2 sets of 2, 3 sets of 2, 4 sets of 2, 5, 6, like so. Hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're going to come 1, 2 down, and that's going to come all the way along to connect. So again, the same thing on this side as well. Come 1, 2 down, then we're going to come 1, so that's 2 sets of 2, 2 sets of 3, there we go, 2 sets of 4, 2 sets of 5, and 2 sets of 6. Then we're going to come 1 down, 2 down, and that should come all the way along to connect with the other one. So you pretty much should have a wing that looks like this. Obviously there's going to be a lot more detail in this wing, don't worry too much. So basically what we're going to do is mimic this wing over on this side. So I'll be done once I've done this. A little key point as well, if you're a little bit stuck and a little bit down on what's going on. You can actually always breach these across to get the right measurements and everything else. I suggest using a different coloured wall or a block if you're going to do that. But if you feel pretty confident, then you can crack right ahead. So let's do the other wing now. So there we have it, guys. We have got two identical wings on exactly the same sides. All we need to do now is add a little bit of detailing into the inner wing. So let's do that now. So what we're going to be doing is building a slightly sort of an off pattern here. We're actually just going to mimic this sort of pattern all the way around, just in the middle here, just to add an extra little bit of bulbous. So what I'm going to do here is come out to from the actual starter line here, and I'm actually going to come up to, and then I'm going to work my way in. So I'm going to come one visible stair set on each side. So again, same thing on this side. Come two away from here, so make sure that it's on the edge here. So 1, 2, build that up. They come in one, and then an extra one, like so. So something like that. There we go. I think that's about right. On each side, let's just fill that in. Beautiful. And then mimic exactly the same thing on the bottom half here as well. Let's come down to. This one can be, oh, you can actually just do this like this, 3. This one can be 4, that needs to come 3 along. Yep, like so. It's quite easy actually doing it this way, it's a lot easier. This one can be 3. This one can be 2. So there we go. You want a pattern that looks like that. We're going to mimic that on exactly the same side as well. So 2, 3, 4, so we can do that. So that's what, 1, 2. Oh, excuse me. 2 on each side, let's have a look. That's fine. 3, 4, there we go. That needs to come all the way along 3 as well. There we go. Let's come down 3, that's a 2, mimic that on the exact same side. So come down 2, come down 3, come down 4, come down 4, come down 3, come down 2. There we go. So you want to go 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, 3, 2. On the other side down underneath, just mimic the exact same thing again. 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, so 3 4s, then a 3, then a 2, and there we go. That's pretty much it. I'm pretty happy with that, I'm not going to lie. It's pretty damn cool. So what we're going to do is work from the sort of in corner here, which could probably come to maybe the edge corner here, and what we're going to do is come out 1 invisible stair set. Going to make this 2 high, then come 1 left, 1 up. Then we're just going to work up with a series of 3s. So we're going to come up 3, then we're going to come up 3, oh 2, there we go, that'll do. Even easier. Maybe come up with a 3. We'll go from this corner. I think we'll go from the second corner. So take that bit out there. Let's go from this corner here. Come out 1, up 1, left 1, up 1. Then we'll come up again. 3, and then a 3 like so. I'm very happy with that. There we go. That's good. So again, come out 1 from the second corner. Up 2, out 1, up 1. So in a pattern that looks like this. 2 up, 1 along, 1 up. And then after that we can just do a series of stair set, but 3 high in total. So you come all the way up to connect this bit here. I'm very happy with that. That's very good. I like that very much. So what we're going to do is a little bit tricky. It's upside down one. So we're actually going to come out away from that one. Come down 1, left, then down, and then we can do again the same. 2, 3. Come out again. 2, 3. Now I'm going to let you have a look at that because it can get very confusing. So as we look from this corner here, obviously the sphere is in the way, but there is that bit there. So as you can tell from the second corner, come away. So we're coming down to each of the corner of the wing that you're working on. So the left hand side we're coming down to the left, and obviously the right hand side in a minute we'll be coming down to the right. So again, if you get a little bit stuck, just mimic the exact same thing. So as you can tell, we're going to go 2 down here, and we're going to come 1 right, 1 down, and then we're going to do a series of 3s again. So it should just be 2 sets of 3 all the way down to connect to the corners, and that's pretty much it. That is that wing there done. So we can crack on with a other side here. Now I'm not going to do this wing with you. If you struggle, just make sure you mimic exactly the same thing. Just keep going back, guys. There's no rush to do this. Just take your time and enjoy it. So let's do this wing on this side. So let's go. So there we go, guys. There is 2 sets of wings done, exactly the same, very identical, awesome, and it looks lovely. So what we can do now is add the rest of the wing. You guys guess this. Grab your black wool or anything that you're using in particular like that, and what we're going to do is fill in the whole of these things in particular. Now I'm not going to walk it through because all it is literally is just filling in the gaps. So I'm going to quickly do that, and once we've done that, sorry, I'm going to jump back, and then we're going to add a little bit more detailing onto the wings, and that's pretty much it for that. Then we're going to start cracking on with the cockpit. So let's crack on and fill these wings in. So as you can tell, guys, both wings are done and dusted, looking goddamn hunky and dory. So all we need to do now is just add a little bit of detailing to the wings. Now what we're going to do is keep all the blocks that we got here, and all we're going to grab, is just throw that around there. So we're going to grab some buttons here, and we're just going to add a little bit of detailing to the wings. So we're going to switch to the sort of buttons here, and we're just going to place them all the way around this particular pan here, just to signify that it is bolted on and is ready to go out and kill some stuff. So yeah, let's just plug all those in there. Don't be sharp with the buttons, they look pretty good. They look like little sort of nuts and bolts there, so we're going to do exactly the same thing on the other side as well. Fill all of that section in there with buttons. You can actually just probably spam this, to be honest, but be careful if I was you, because if you go over, you're obviously going to have to remove a block, and then you're going to have to replace it once you've done it. So yeah, there we go. Buttons on the sides there do look pretty damn cool. Pretty sci-fi as well. Now you can strip these buttons all the way along, which we'll probably do as well. We're going to come all the way along here and just add some buttons. I'm going to put one on the end here, but before we do that, I'm just going to add an extra one there like so. And I'm just going to put some more buttons around the sides here. So again, just follow that all the way along. But leave 3 in the middle. Just leave 3 in the middle, and I'll show you why in a minute. So we're doing the same thing on this side as well. Obviously this is going to be the back half, so we don't need to add an extra block there. So if we come all the way to the other side of the wing here, down below, what we can do is add a little bit of detailing. It's entirely up to you guys. You don't have to do this, but for me, I'm going to grab some glowstone, and I'm just going to make a little piece here, just to indicate there is a nice wing shape, like so. You don't have to do that, but I find it kind of cool, so I'm going to add that my bit onto there, like so. So again, the same thing on this side as well. Get your buttons, come all the way along to the sides, all the strip bits here. Add an extra block on the edge, carry your buttons all the way around, and we're going to obviously leave 3 in the middle, come all the way around again to the back half, plug an extra button on the back, and come all the way along again so they connect with your buttons like so. Scoot around the other side of the wing, switch to iron, make your little box there like so. Oh, it needs to be this level. There we go. And there we have it. There are some wing details with obviously the rest of that. So now all we need to do now is do the cockpit. So guys, there are many ways you can do the cockpit. You don't have to do it exactly how I am. You can probably just sort of do your own thing here. But for me, you know, I'm gonna add a little bit of detailing onto this. So I'm gonna grab a what are they called? Dispenser. I think they're called a dispenser. I don't really know. I haven't really used these a kind of a lot. Let's just go and find one. There it is. Dispenser, spelt wrong again. Oh well. So we're going to plug it under the actual main layer here, and then afterwards we're probably just going to stretch out and just nibble away some of this. Obviously we're going to need some glass. Totally forgot about that. Let's grab some glass. I'd use blocks for this, so I wouldn't use panels. Panels just look a little bit naffy on this, so I wouldn't suggest doing that at all. But we're going to remove this whole entire bit here, to be totally honest. Let's keep one block on the edge here, just to make sure, obviously, because it looks like it's holding it. Let's keep one in the middle here, put one there, and then I'll probably just remove the rest of this. Yeah, I like the look of that, looks good. Now what you can do in additional, depends what lasers you want. You could have red lasers, or you could have your lime green lasers. It's entirely up to you, but after that what you need to do is just add an extra block on the edges here. So, and then obviously you plunk your lasers on like so. But if you don't want that, or you want to change it to a green, you can switch to a green, and you can plug your sort of green walls there. It's entirely up to you. But for me, I'm not going to have that at all. I don't think it should be firing lasers currently. I'm going to have it stationary. And yeah, there we go guys. That is the simple TIE Fighter. Obviously we've got the advanced one coming up soon, and many other tutorials, but if you want more Star Wars, obviously click subscribe and give me a like. There are plenty more other Star Wars tutorials to be coming, but they're going to be very complicated because they're going to be freaking awesome builds. So guys, until the next one, Killer Kev here, and Killer Kev out.